Love is Blind season 6. I think it's time to throw the whole show away, okay? Netflix, I think it's time to wrap it up. Love is Blind was fun while it lasted, but right now it's giving Charlie. It's giving I just want screen time. It's giving I'm not here for love, I'm just here for fame, okay? So just throw the whole show into the dustbin and start all over with, something else, because I don't understand what is going on anymore, okay? Hi guys, welcome to Reality Check, and today we're going to be discussing Love is Blind season 6 episodes 7 to 9, okay? As usual, I'm just going to be giving my thoughts on each couple, okay? I'm not going to go like scene by scene or episode by episode. No, I'm just going to name each couple and then give you all my thoughts on them, but basically framing my whole discussion around what happened in episodes 7, 8 and 9. Okay, I'm going to start from my former list, okay? My former list of the least problematic to the most problematic, okay? I'm going to start from that list. So if you haven't seen my previous video, then please go and watch it, okay? But yeah, let's start from Amy and Johnny, okay? Who, in my opinion, before we are like the sweetest couple, the best couple. I still think they are, okay? All things considered, I still think that they are the best couple among the people that are lined up right now, but they're not the best couple like ever on the show, okay? But amongst their peers, they're actually like still the best couple. However, what we are seeing now is that number one, they are both questioning why they've not had any issues so far, why they've not had any quarrels. I'm sure they've gotten wind of other couples that had quarrels, right? And they're now wondering like, why is their own different? Why are they just getting along so well? Why are they just resolving their issues so well? So they're like, like they'll really like to know what it will feel like to actually have like a real scuffle or real argument or real fight. And to that I say, you better not jinx it, okay? You better not use your mouth or use your mindset and then jinx your relationship, okay? Because not all relationships have all those drama, especially at the beginning. Like, I think everybody keeps forgetting that this is still the first 3 weeks, okay? 3 weeks of them actually getting to know each other, okay? Actually getting to fall in love, like they said. You're everything I've ever wanted in my entire life. Okay, now that's everything you've ever wanted in your entire life is in front of you and you're messing up. I think we keep forgetting that part. And for me, it has not been my experience to be having issues or fights like that in a new relationship. It hasn't been my experience, so I don't understand what they are actually looking for, okay? I don't know. You guys should better not ask for what you are not ready for, okay? Then they kind of ask for what they are not looking for, because the slight issues they started having, which has the tendency to actually become big deals, right? The slight issues they started having is that Amy is saying that her family is very traditional, they didn't really approve of the process or don't really approve of the process, and that her father might not give Johnny his blessing, and that if her father does not give Johnny his blessing, then she might not go ahead with the wedding, okay, or with the marriage. And I'm asking myself, if you knew that your father's approval was that important to you, why the hell did you go on the show? I'm going to be asking this question a lot throughout this episode, okay? Why the hell did you go on the show? I'm going to be asking different people, because at the end of the day, it's almost like they were casted for a different show and they now found out that they were on Love is Blind, and they're like, okay, let's just go ahead with it, because I don't understand why you will go on a show called Love is Blind where the premise of the show, you have seen 5 other seasons, and then you're still saying, I will not marry if my father does not approve. Then why are you here? Why didn't you just go and try and date through the routes that your father will approve of, that you are very 100% sure that your father is going to approve of? Why didn't you go through that route, the traditional route of finding a date? Why are you coming to a show like Love is Blind, and then after you have matched with somebody and gotten engaged, and I'm like, if my father does not approve, then I cannot go ahead with it? Come on, go and sit down. But I still like Amy, okay? I still like her, but sis, like, except she's just doing all of that just to add some drama to her storyline, because again, like I said before, the nice couples are usually the boring ones, whether we like it or yes, okay? Then the other half of the couple, what's his name? Johnny. Now, Johnny is saying that he's not ready to have a child. He's not ready for his wife or his girlfriend or whatever to get pregnant. He doesn't want a unwanted pregnancy, and he's not ready for a child right now. That he still wants to make money and invest. He wants to be more frugal, and he wants to retire at 50, so he's not ready for a baby yet, right? So I'm going to ask him again. So why are you on this show? Because you know that when you come on such a show, the end game is to get married. And many people, when they get married, they want to have kids almost immediately, okay? I'm not saying everybody, but at least when you come to a show like that, most people want to get married almost immediately. So both Amy and Johnny are 27 years, right? And to me, that's actually young. So, well, yeah, they're actually young. So, okay, no wahala. But at the same time, even if it's a 24-year-old, it could be that she wants to have her kids early and finish having kids early so that she can move on with her life early, okay? So at the same time, I'm like, why are you on the show if kids are not in the picture for you right now? You should have waited to when you're ready to have kids and then you find love and then you go ahead and, just continue like that, okay? That's what I would have done if it was me. But it's not me. But if it was me, I would have waited to when I know, okay, now I'm ready to have kids. Let me now go and look for a woman that will marry me and have kids for me at this time. Because one thing about women is Amy can be going along now, and I think she can be going along now and be saying, yes, it's true, I don't want to have kids. Then after she gets married, like 1 year later, she's like, I actually want to have kids. At that point, he'll be like, but I told you, but you agreed, so it's what tends to happen to women a lot of times. And Amy is not on birth control, okay? And she even said that, when he was going on about, oh, they cannot afford the child, she was like, well, we can actually afford the child, even though she was saying 5 years. But she was like, well, if we had a child now, even if it was a mistake, like, it's not the worst thing in the world, like we can still take care of a child. And he was so adamant that he doesn't want a child now, acting like someone that has some kind of PTSD from either a what they call it, surprise pregnancy or wanted pregnancy or something like that. Like he's acting like someone that has real fear of that, right? Like someone that has experienced it before and has a fear of it. But I'm just like, then why come on the show if you have those strong feelings towards pregnancy, okay? Because we all know what comes with marriage. Yes, we know that marriage is not because of kids, okay? You don't get married because of kids. We know that, okay? But we also know, if we're not trying to be disingenuous, we also know that what comes with marriage is usually kids. Whether you born them or you adopt them or you whatever inherit them. One of the first things that come with marriage is actually kids, okay? If no matter where in the world, don't come and say, oh, the Westerners don't think like us. It's a lie. It's a lie. Like, it's universal. It's human nature, okay? It's the female anatomy. It's the female composition and the male composition. Like, human beings in general, most times want kids. The ones that don't want kids after they get married are actually the outliers. They're actually the exception. They're not the rule, okay? So let's not even go there. Let's not even try and be deceiving ourselves this early afternoon, okay? Okay. And then Johnny was now even saying that, oh, he thought that every woman was on birth control. I'm like, huh? No. Okay. And that made me even question him again. Like, okay, what kind of things have you been doing with all your exes if you think that every woman is on birth control and you act like you've never heard the concept of condom, okay? You've never heard of condom before. Then what were you doing with all your exes? Does it mean that every sex you've had before was, raw, like what they call it, unprotected? Is that what he means? Even though I think she kind of mentioned that even though they get protection, he wants that extra layer of the woman, being on birth control. And for me, I say, then Oga, go and be on birth control. She even suggested him having a vasectomy, even though that doesn't make sense to me. Like, why would I want my husband or my future husband to have a vasectomy just to prevent pregnancy before we now eventually want kids? Because it's not like they don't want kids, they actually want kids. So why would she suggest a vasectomy to him? But at the same time, like, it almost put things in perspective for him. Like, don't be on my neck telling me birth control. Oh yeah, you go and do it now. It thinks easy. Every time you want the woman to do everything, you go and do it. Go and do the birth control. Let's know how you're gonna feel. Okay. So, but that's basically it for them. They are still happy-go-lucky. They still have fun together. They still laugh together. They still, have deep conversations and move on without it turning into a fight. So they still remain in the number one spot, okay? Yeah, they still remain in the number one spot. Now to my former number two spot, Kenneth and Brittany. Oh my goodness, this is one of the most jaw-dropping parts of this series, okay? Is the fact that I think Kenneth is the real villain, okay? I know we all castigated Matthew. We all said, oh, Matthew is a serial killer. He's giving serial killer vibes. He's a terrible person. He's doing this for fame. He's trying to get his 15 minutes of fame. He's saying that America is behind him. He's just here for the show. I know we all said that, right? But if you really, really think about it, Matthew did not really deceive anybody per se, right? What I mean by deceive anybody is that we all felt that way about Matthew from the get-go. Like, nobody was bamboozled by Matthew, like, oh my god, he's such a good guy. And well, I think we are partially bamboozled. Like, after his initial theatrics, he was actually like turning out to look like a good guy until he now ended up with Amber. But at the same time, I feel like it was shocking but not so shocking because of the way he had been from the beginning. But for this Kenneth's own, it's just like, what is happening? Anyway, for those of you who don't know, I hope you guys have watched this series though, because it's spoilers galore, okay? Spoilers galore. So if you haven't watched it, then please go and watch episodes 7, 8 and 9 if you don't want spoilers. But if you don't care, then let's go ahead. So Kenneth and Brittany, these people were very good on paper, even though I didn't put them at my number one spot because I just knew that something was a little bit lacking. I felt like something was a little bit lacking, but I couldn't pinpoint it. I think that right now, in hindsight, I can now pinpoint what was lacking, but I couldn't really tell what was lacking. And on paper, they actually look really good, okay? They look good together. They sound good together. They had meaningful conversations. They gelled really well. They had the same values. In fact, they had more of the same values than even Amy and Johnny, right? That reminds me, there was a part where Amy had crystals, right? And Johnny was like, oh, you're a crystals girl. And she was like, yeah, what is about crystal girls? I'll be crystals girls or whatever. And he was like, he had heard so much about crystal girls, but he didn't know she was a crystal girl. As he was saying this, I saw one big cross on his hand, a tattoo of a cross on his hand. Even though that cross looked like an upside down cross. Okay, maybe because he did like this, an upside down cross. Okay. But anyway, like, I think he's a Christian, and we all know that you cannot be a Christian and be doing crystals. Like, if you do that, then you're just deceiving yourself. You cannot say you're a Christian and you're doing crystals. But anyway, I'm not here to judge anybody. Let's move on to what I was talking about, okay? The real Christians of the show, Kenneth and Brittany. So they looked really good on paper. Turns out that this Kenneth guy is very awkward around Brittany, very nonchalant around Brittany. Like, she was the one that was begging for his attention. She was the one that was begging to touch him and talk to him. Basically she was trying to nudge him to even like be normal with her. It was just giving me JP and what's that girl? Taylor. Is it Taylor? Yeah, it was giving me JP and Taylor vibes. Initially, I was even thinking that the people that are giving me JP and Taylor vibes were Matt and Co. Nope. This is the real JP and Taylor vibes. It was almost like Kenneth was just shut off or closed off. He was just giving one-word answers. The silence was so awkward between them. He only lightened up when they passed where they were dolphins. Okay, that's when he lightened up and was like a small child, so excited. And then after that, he was closed off again. She even brought it up to him several times about, oh, you can touch me if you want. Like, I don't feel smothered by you. And then he said something which should have been a red flag to her, right? Because when he said that, it was a red flag to me. Now, he said that when she was saying, oh, that it's okay, you can touch me, you can kiss me, you can smoosh me, whatever, like, we're not having sex till we get married, but we can do every other thing that is not like actual sex, okay? He now said that, that he thought he was doing that he was even trying not to do it too much so that he will not smother her. She was not like, no, you're not going to smother me, don't worry, just go ahead, right? He now said that, that because in previous relationships, he has been told that he's very affectionate and very touchy-feely, almost like he smothers the people that he's with, right? It's almost like he smothers them. That has been the complaints he has always gotten. And I was like, if that has always been the complaint you have gotten, how come he reached this one turn now? You're not even being normal with her. It's not like, oh, you're overdoing it. There's different case if he came here now and he was overdoing it. Okay, no, I'll say that was too much, okay, or it's okay that he withdrew. He wasn't even being normal with her. He wasn't even doing it normal levels with her. He was basically just like a body high five. In fact, they could have been another person's fiance for all we knew. Like, if you just watch the show and see them interacting, you would think she's engaged to someone else and he's engaged to someone else, okay? So I'm just wondering if that has always been the reports that you've gotten from people that you are too touchy feeling. How come in her own turn now you're not even baseline touchy feeling? You are just on keeping to yourself, keeping your hands to yourself. Even when she tried to get him to, he laid down and she tried to get him to like put his hand around her, his arms around her. It was so awkward. She had to tell him where to put his hand. I'm like, I don't understand. Okay, so are you a Jew guy? I don't get it. Anyway, eventually they went to their own house because all the couples now have moved to their houses, right? That is the house that Netflix or Love is Blind provides for them to stay in before they get married, okay? I guess the reason why they stay in those houses is just, let's not be your house, let's not be my house. That's number one. And then number two, those houses are wired for TV. Like, I'm sure mics are everywhere, sound is everywhere, so that's why they give them their own houses to live in, okay? And the houses this season, shout out to Netflix, okay? Shout out to Love is Blind this season because the houses are fantastic. The food is fantastic. I feel like because in previous episodes there was allegation of them starving the contestants and stuff like that, this time they made it a point of duty to give them good food and show us the good food and show them eating the good food. Okay, so I feel like they made that a point of focus this season. But aside that, even the videography, how clear it is, how bright, how beautiful the places are, even the house, everything about this season is very, very beautiful. Okay, I actually love it. I like watching it. Okay, even trust me, even though I complain about the show, I say throw the show away. Please don't throw it away. Oh, please don't throw it away. Like, I will still watch. It's like watching a train wreck. You want to remove your eyes, but you can't stop. Okay. So now back to Kenneth and Brittany. So they were in their joint house, okay, the Love is Blind house, and he got his phone back, and this guy was on his phone 247. Now, mind you, I'm always on my phone, okay, because I work from my phone. Yeah, I'm always on my phone, right? But seeing him that obsessively on his phone, and I said, God, I hope that's not how I used to look when I'm touching my phone, though, because it looked bad. Like, it looks bad. Like, she's talking to him, he's doing, oh, okay, all right, yeah, So yeah, I actually got distracted by my phone. Is that bad? I got distracted by my phone. But anyway, the way he was looking with his phone, I'd be looking at his phone or being distracted by his phone, or he said he was working on his phone, okay. But the way he was with his phone, it looked so bad. And it almost looked like he just did not want to be there. Like, it felt like he just did not want to be there. Even when he told her, oh, let me just go and chill now. He took his phone and went. His chilling was to take his phone downstairs and start pressing his phone. He didn't stay there just watching her do her thing, because she was trying to unpack and she was telling him to come and unpack. He said no, he didn't want to unpack then, but he didn't. It's almost like he didn't even want to stay, so that's why he didn't want to unpack. Okay, he almost like he knew he was going to leave, because yeah, spoiler alert, he left, but it's almost like he knew he was going to leave, so he didn't want to unpack, right? So anyways, the next day they were not having a conversation, and she was saying, oh, you came in by 1:30 a.m. and you decided to put on all the lights and wake me up. Okay, so he was not saying, oh yes, that he wanted to tell her good night. He didn't want her to sleep without him telling her good night. That was why he woke her up at 1:30 a.m. And she said she was supposed to get up by 5 a.m. okay, for work and stuff. So she was not trying to explain to him that no, it wasn't like, no, 1:30 a.m. is not convenient, it's not okay, right? And he was like, that even the way she turned, like her attitude or something. Remember, I was like, at 1:30 a.m., what do you expect? You can't wake me up from sleep at 1:30 a.m. and expect me to be all chippy and happy and nice, like, except let's say you travel for like a few months or a few weeks and I didn't know you are coming back and you surprised me in the middle of the night, okay, I'll understand. But that you left the day, he said he went to twist his hair and he had a meeting with his mentor, it didn't make sense to me. And also the way he kept pressing his phone, to me, it felt like he was chatting with his family, showing them her picture, talking to them about it, and they were like, nah, no way, you're not coming back home with that with that whitey. A whitey. If you're black, nothing for you. But in this case, if you're white, nothing for you. So I feel like they told him, a whitey? No. Don't bring that girl to this place. Or maybe his parents don't approve. No, he said his father is late. Or maybe just his friends and his family don't approve. Or maybe he has someone else who is now trying to come back into his life. And he's like, okay, you know what? I like the other person better. But basically, it was given he didn't really like her. So she was trying to explain to him that she doesn't feel that craving from him. This guy just twisted the talk. Like, I hope you guys caught that part. I hope I'm not the only one that caught that part. This guy twisted the talk, gaslit her, like, seriously. I know people throw around the word gaslighting, blah, 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 blah. But in this case, like, it was actual gaslighting, because the guy just turned the thing around and made it look as if she's the one that doesn't want him. She's the one that is not craving him. She's the one that is not feeling him. And I was like, what is happening here? Like, I know you're smart, but guy, the way he turned the whole thing around, even Brittany herself, she couldn't really push back. She couldn't really argue it. She just started crying, she was really sad, and this guy could not even stand up and go and hug her, like give her a real hug and comfort her. He just started drinking his milkshake or whatever he was drinking, his drink, and then started pressing his phone. Then later he was like, just so that there's no beef between us, come, let me hug you. Just give her one kind dry ass hug like this, and then took his phone and walked away. And she was there sobbing. I felt so bad for her. Like, I felt so bad for her. I was like, girl, you don't deserve this, because let's just be truthful. Let's just be truthful. The guy is not such a catch. Okay, I know it's not all about physical. I know it's not all about whatever. But the guy is not such a catch like that. Okay, so there's no reason why that kind of guy should be doing that kind of thing to that kind of girl. Okay, there's no reason whatsoever why they should separate and he will be the one to prompt it, not even her. No. There's no reason why, okay? But anyway, he called up his friend immediately. That's why I said the guy was on the phone with his friend at Beck. He said, yeah, I'm living there now. You're going to come and pick me up. I'm coming there now or something. He was planning this whole thing. He was just trying to make her be the one to break up or break up with him. That's why even the slightest opportunity he saw, he just twisted it around and made it look like she was the one that was wanting to break up with him, essentially. Okay. Anyway, that was that about them. They just forgot about them after that one. Like, they didn't show them again. They didn't even give us any updates. Hopefully we'll get updates in the subsequent episode. Okay, so now the next couple is Jeremy and Laura. Okay, according to my former list, Jeremy and Laura is just being very, I don't know, Laura is somehow, funny enough, Laura looks like someone that is fun. She seems like a fun girlfriend, like female friend. Okay, she seems like a fun female friend, but not so much a fiance or a man's girlfriend. Okay, she seems like she's going to be such a girl's girl, such a fun person to hang around, but when it comes to relationship, I don't think she's that much fun to be around, because she nitpicks a lot. She jokes inappropriately, and you can't really tell if she's joking or if she's being serious. Seems like all those people that their love language are always insults and I don't know, sarcastic jokes like that, which I mean, it has a time and place, but all the time, no, like it has a time and place. All the time is not the time. She seems like that kind of person, and she just kept going on and on about Jeremy's Hawaii shirt. I was just like, leave the guy alone now. Like, leave him alone. He doesn't have to wear what you like. I mean, Hawaii shirt is not all he wears. Like, I don't think I've even seen him wearing, maybe while they were at the beach, maybe he was wearing it. But since they came back from the Dominican Republic, they hasn't been wearing the Hawaii shirts. Okay, so I don't understand why she just kept harping on it. Another thing again was that she kept, telling him that, oh, hope he's clean. She can't stand dirty people. She can't stand this. She can't stand that. Only for her to go to his house and see that this guy is even cleaner than her. Like, I think if you want to say somebody has OCD, I think the guy might actually qualify to an extent. Okay, to an extent, maybe not even OCD. He's just extremely arranged. Okay, like extremely, yeah, like almost OCD type of arrangement. Okay, or cleanliness. That was it about his house. Her own house. Did we even see her house? I don't think we saw her house. I can't remember if we saw her house, but the guy's house was very nice. He said he was an entrepreneur from a young age, so he has money. You can tell from his house that he's comfortable, but the house was extremely immaculate, almost like something you see in a magazine. Not it was extreme. Then there was a part where Jeremy was telling Amy, okay, he was telling Amy that he wants to meet with Sarah Ann and basically give her closure and explain to her what went wrong. I was just like, what is wrong with you? Why are you on the show? Why did you go to the show if you can't just sever ties with the person that you almost got engaged to while you were already engaged to someone else? Why did you now go on the show? Why didn't you just date openly so that you can be dating anyhow and going back and forth and to and fro like the devil? Like the devil. Why did you now go on the show if you don't want to narrow things down? Because the show has helped you. It has helped you narrow things down. No hard feelings. Everybody on the show knows what they came there for. Everybody on the show knows that you might not be picked. Everybody that goes on that show knows that you might form a very strong bond with somebody and the person will end up not picking you, but no hard feelings. Everybody knows that. So why is your own different? Why do you want to go and give her closure? She will still watch the show. She will still hear what went wrong. But no, Oga said he can still be friends with Sarah Ann. Even Amy herself was like, because she was like, let her not say anything because it was odd, right? Anyway, Sarah Ann actually sent him a DM saying, oh, thank you for the experience. I really enjoyed my time with you. But if you happen to change your mind, I'm still there, okay? And I was just like, you must think this is Zach and Bliss. You must think this is a Zach and Bliss situation. So you are gearing yourself up to be proposed to and brought back to the show or what? I don't even get it. Like, why are you telling him if he decides to choose? He already chose who he wanted to choose and he's with the person he wanted to choose and he engaged the person he wanted to choose. Why are you there still trying to enter the situation? Anyway, Jeremy hearted the message and went to show Laura, and Laura took a screenshot of it and she was, like mad at him. Not so mad, but she was like, why did he heart, her comment that he could have just left it the way it was? Of which, that part, I understand where she's coming from, but me personally, if I read your comments or I read your message and I don't want to respond, but I don't want to be rude and just leave you on read or leave you on read, Is that how the word? Yeah, leave you unread, right? I will just heart the comment so that you will know that I actually saw it, but I might respond later or never respond. I don't know. But yeah, I understand what she's talking about because this is someone that he almost got engaged to, but at the same time, I don't want to give him flack for that, right? Anyway, so she met up with Jessica. Yeah, Jessica came back into the picture, and Jessica was talking about how Jimmy sent her a friend request on Instagram, and then after a few hours, when she went back to the friend request, he had withdrawn it, and how, you know, Chelsea is all that, Chelsea is everything, but that she did her findings and that all Jimmy's exes look like her. And to be honest, that seriously rubbed me off the wrong way. Okay, in fact, I don't even like Jessica again. I never really liked her so much, but right now I don't like her. I see her as because the truth is, sometimes when somebody has a child or the person is pretty, you know, pretty privileged, we just bestow virtue on the person. You know, we just assume the person is a good person just because of how they look or because they have a child. It's not true, okay? It's not true. Remove how she looks from the situation. Imagine if it was Irene from the last 2 seasons, okay? I think season 4. Imagine if it was Irene, that is the one that was dating Zach before he now left her for Bliss, right? Imagine if it was Irene saying all these things that Jessica is saying. We're all going to be looking at her sideways, okay? Imagine if it was Chelsea. If it was even Chelsea saying all the things that Jessica said, including that you're going to choke. Imagine if it was Chelsea. People are not going to cheer her on the way they are cheering Jessica on. So for me, I just started looking at her like, ew, like, no, sis, like, that's not it, okay? That's not it. So yeah, she was saying that, oh, she's his type. And I was now wondering, why is she even going to do research on the guy? Anyway, Laura now showed Jessica the DM from Mary Ann or Sarah Ann, read it out, and Jessica was like, huh? But in my mind, I was like, but Jessica, are you not kind of doing the same thing? Are you not kind of like, we've not seen the other episode, so I don't know if she actually tried to even go back to him or anything, but she's kind of doing the same thing, okay? By entertaining him, by going through to see his other girlfriends and stuff like that, you're kind of doing the same thing that Sarah Ann is doing, okay? It's almost like you're dangling yourself. She even said it though, that, you know, her going around Jimmy is like dangling temptation in front of him, but yeah, you got it right. It's basically what it is. So Laura was really irritated at what Sarah Ann did. But yeah, that was it about that part. Then later on, hey, because the contestants also met each other's families in these episodes, okay? So when Laura and Jeremy met Laura's family, she brought up the fact that Sarah Ann DM'd him and he hearted the DM, and I was like, why are you bringing this up in front of your parents? But anyway, at the end of the whole thing, it turns out that Jeremy went out in the middle of the night or went out in the evening and did not come back till 5 a.m. And where was he? He was with Sarah Ann. Not only was he with Sarah Ann, he went to her house and he sent Laura his location while he was at the bar, thinking that she was sleeping and she will not know. But when she wakes up and see that he sent her location, you know, she will not be like, oh, he's so faithful. No, first of all, she wasn't even falling for that. She was already like, what does your location have to do with, you know, giving me assurance? Like, that's not an assurance. That's not any assurance that you sent me location. Okay, it's like you being in a brothel, you now send me location. I'm supposed to be like, okay, he's at the brothel. He's where he said he's going to be. Like, that's not assurance, okay, of the relationship or being in the relationship. Anyway, it turns out she wasn't actually sleeping and she actually checked his location and she knew that he wasn't where he said, or she knew that he had left the bar and actually went towards where Sarah Ann lives. And she was like, I'm out, I want out of this whole thing, okay? And he was just there looking like a cat caught in headlights, okay? A deer caught in headlights. He was just looking. Anyway, that's it about Jeremy. I said they were very boring. They're not boring anymore, but I don't really care about them that much anymore or either. But yeah, then the next couple, Chelsea and Jimmy. So we heard that Jimmy has actually seen what Jessica looks like because he checked her out on Instagram, okay? And according to the gist, Jeremy said that Jessica looks like a Kardashian, which I can actually see it. She looks like a lost Kardashian somehow. Yeah, Chelsea is very insecure. Like, my God. That girl is so insecure. It's painful to watch. It is so painful to watch. She keeps wanting validation from Jeremy. She keeps wanting him to say I love you and hug her and kiss her like all day. You don't get work. The guy is clearly working. For me, in this episode, I wasn't really mad at Jimmy. Even though I know that Jimmy has his own faults. In this episode, I felt like Chelsea was just being overbearing. Like, I for leave her and come out. Like, I can't stand such behavior. I would have just left her in the house and gone to my own place, okay? okay? What Kenneth did to Brittany is what Jimmy should have done to Chelsea, okay? Because it wasn't even making sense at that point anymore. She wanted constant validation, even though he was even giving her validation. And when he's trying to talk, she's like, no, listen to me, validate me. Like, I was like, what's wrong with you? Are you a child? Are you a baby? You know? And then we find out that she actually knows that he has seen what Jessica looks like, and that is even adding to her own insecurities, okay? And I'm like, well, you lay your bed, you lie on it, okay? You lay your bed, you lie on it. You could have left him for her. You could have just left him to follow her, but no, you wanted to win the guy that everybody wanted, because she said it again that, oh, he was everybody's favorite or whatever. So it's obvious that she felt like she was winning the prize. Not necessarily that she was going for what she wanted, but she just felt like, I'm winning the prize. It's like winning a gift that you don't really want, but because it's being won, you just take it. It's like me now winning a gun or winning a cigarette or something, okay? Like, I don't want it, but because I won it, I'll just take it. Anyway, so she was really, really insecure about it, and she was just whining, and then he told her that she's being very clingy, and then the whining now continued. In fact, raised to power 100. She now said that she watched his movie with him, she cooks for him, and she even has sex with him, and he was like, yeah, about that sex part too, that's him too. He wasn't really in the mood for it or something like that. He was basically saying that he wanted to slow down that part as well. And I was like, oh, more times, oh, more. Like, I can't imagine a man telling me that, yeah, even that sex thing, that let's even reduce it. Hey, GB. I just cannot imagine it, because we all know that men like sex a lot. So for a man to be telling you that, I beg, let's even calm down in that part, it means that, my sister, you're doing too much. Like, you are doing the utmost much. You're doing the utmost. Anyway, eventually he left, but later on he came and apologized to her, and I think they settled and all of that. Then he met her friends, and she met his friends, and his friends are actually female. Like, he has two female best friends. And the funny thing is that Chelsea keeps revealing things about herself that is even funny. Not only was she married, she said some of her best friends are actually men, and I'm like, huh? But anyway, that's it about them. Chelsea is just incredibly insecure, and Jimmy is just going along with it for the sake of going along with it, okay? Because there's really no sense in that relationship. It doesn't even make sense to me. He's clearly not happy, and she's clearly not happy. So why are you forcing it? Why are you the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge? Like, you want to, what's their name? The Duke and Duchess of Sussex. That you want to form like, we love each other, we are against the world. No, you don't have to. Like, you can actually go your separate ways if it's not working out, okay? The last couple is AD and Clay. I don't even understand what's wrong with AD. Like, Clay is basically telling her without telling her that he's not ready for marriage and he's going to cheat. Like, that is basically what he is doing. He is telling her without telling her, and I don't know why she's not catching it, or maybe she's catching it but she's trying to suppress it. Whatever it is, girl, run for your life, run for the hills, pick up your slippers, dust it and run. Because as much as there were parts of this episode where I kind of, will I say, started having a soft spot for Clay, kind of, not really, but there were parts of this episode I was like, okay, I can actually see Clay as a better human than I thought he was. Okay, yeah, I actually saw him as a better human than I thought he was. Like, when he was packing the plates on the table, basically trying to help the waiters, like, I felt something for him. But the guy he's odd. There's something odd about him. He was silent. They also had their own awkward silence as well. I was like, what the hell is going on with this awkward silence? Awkward silence is so awkward to watch. Like, no, I'd rather you guys are fighting than you guys will have that awkward silence, because it makes me uncomfortable. Anyway, so they were having this awkward silence, and then from nowhere he was like, I don't want to disappoint you. I don't want to let you down. It's like, huh? Let me down, Bawo? Like, how? Disappoints me how? He now started telling her about how he doesn't have good examples. I think this one was now in his house, or in their joint house. He was telling her how he does not have good examples. His father always cheated. The father even used to carry him on his cheating trips, basically carry the son and go and see another woman, right? No respect. Anyway, father used to carry him on his on the father's cheating trips. He had no good examples of, men that did not cheat. That most black men he knows cheat or have cheated on their wives. That even the celebrities that he looks up to, like Will Smith and P. Diddy. I was like, P. Diddy. Of all the people to look up to in this world, this P. Diddy, that they are also known to have cheated and stuff like that, okay? I don't know if Will Smith is known to have cheated. Okay, yes. I think there was a time that there was a gist that he cheated with Robbie Margot Rob or so. And I think, did he not cheat on his first wife with Jada? I can't remember, but I don't know if, well, but anyway, yeah, so he doesn't have good examples, so he's afraid that he won't be able to be faithful. I was like, this is a load of crap, okay? This is a load of bull crap. First of all, you are not a baby, you are 30, you are a grown man, okay? And clearly, you know what a good marriage is. If you know that cheating is not good and you're struggling with it, then that means that clearly you know what a good marriage is. Clearly, you saw how your mother was affected by your father's cheating. So you don't have an excuse to follow your father's shoes. Don't make it look as if, oh, because you had no good example, you can't help yourself but follow his shoes. The fact that you're even saying that shows that you are even with your senses complete, okay? It shows that you have all your marbles complete. If you are afraid that, you know, the way you grew up is going to affect the way you treat AD, then it means that you actually know what you are doing. So for me, if you know what you are doing, why are you not afraid of it? Why are you struggling with it? Because it's not like cheating is something that accidentally happens to you. It's not like cheating is something that, you know, you can just wake up one morning and find out that, oh, you have cheating in your blood. Just the way some people wake up and find out that they have diabetes because their parents had diabetes, okay? It is not hereditary, right? It's not hereditary. You can actually choose to not cheat, okay? So why was he sounding so worried? I feel like he was just using style to tell her, Mom, you better leave this relationship. I don't want to break up with you, but you better run because I don't like you like that. That's how I saw it. I don't like you like that. Forget my words. Forget my words. I do not like you like that. That's how I see it. So him basically bringing it up all the time was just him trying to tell her without telling her, okay? Now, even when she met his mom is so lovely. All the parents in this season have been so lovely. All the parents, all the friends, they are so lovely, right? So when she met his mom, she was so gracious, so beautiful. Even his younger sister, you know, they kind of look alike. So they were so... I don't know, they look very nice. As a family, they look very nice, okay? Look very normal, very sweet. Like you almost wonder how Clay turned out the way he is, right? So when AD was talking about how Clay works a lot and sometimes does not even sleep in the house, like he's going to work tomorrow by 6 a.m. Instead of him to sleep in the house and probably leave by 5 a.m. to where he wants to go, he will go and sleep somewhere else and then go to work from there. You get? No, sis. No. So anyway, but she actually said she didn't like that she feels like, you know, you can work. It's not about your work, but it's about you spending time and finding time to spend time with the one that you love, okay? So even when she was trying to say it's not about work, I don't have a problem with you working, it's never going to be about the work itself, he was like, so what is it about then? And she was like, it's almost like the tone shocked him. He shocked him. She was like, you know, and the mom was like, I'm just going to continue drinking my drink. Like, it was so awkward the way he answered her. I know she's quite sensitive, even though she doesn't do much about it, but she's quite sensitive to tones, right? So when she now basically like was like, excuse me, you know, the mom now interjected and said, you know what, that marriage is tough, marriage is not easy, that yeah, even though she's separated, I mean, she was married for 23 years, I think 24 years, but as in after 23 years was when she now maybe filed for divorce or whatever. Anyway, so she was saying marriage is not easy, there has to be compromise, you have to understand his work. I was talking to AD, you have to understand his work, he's very demanding and all of that, but then you, Clay, you have to make out time. Like, there's no excuse, you have to make out time, okay? And that's the truth. There's no excuse. That is just the truth. I don't care. Like when Kenneth was saying, oh, his work, I beg you, what are you doing? Which work are you doing? Are you busier than me? Are you busier than me? I'm not even trying to be funny. Like, seriously, like, are you busier than me? I have children, I have 2 YouTube channels, not even 2. I'm even doing Instagram, join, TikTok, all join, okay? Are you busier than me? But you just have to make out time for the ones you love. I always say this: if you see a man in love, it doesn't matter if he is the CEO of Apple, it doesn't matter if he's the CEO of Amazon, Jeff Bezos. It does not matter. If you see a man, or Dangote or whatever, or even who, if you see a man who is in love, who is genuinely in love and genuinely loves his wife, he will make out time for her. At least in the beginning. Maybe later on, no, when she finish enters and him, but at least in the beginning. I've seen men that they are working, they're calling their wives in between. They are working, they're calling their girlfriend. In fact, there's some that are calling wife, calling girlfriend. These are busy men. They have time for wife, they have time for girlfriend, okay? So there is really no excuse of, oh, like, I'm so busy. Busy doing what? Who are you? I beg you, sit down. Anyway, why did you even come on the show? That's another person I even want to ask the question, why did you come on the show? Because if you're not ready for marriage, if you're not ready for commitment, if you feel like you're going to let her down, then why did you come on the show? Why did you come on the show and start stringing somebody's child along? Like, it doesn't even make sense to me, okay? And then AD barely asks like leading questions. She's not like Laura. Laura is the kind of person that will confront you and ask you. In fact, so, I like Laura. I like her somehow. You know, Laura will ask you questions. Laura is ready to go toe to toe. She's ready to like confront your inner demons with you, right? But AD, he'll be saying, oh, I'm fighting demons. She'll be like, yeah. I'm like, can't you ask him questions? Can't you ask him, okay, which demons? Like, let me know the demons you're fighting. If you cannot do this, then let me go. Like, are you ready or you're not ready? Like, you get, she's not asking leading questions. She's not confronting him. She's just acting like she's ready to just take everything he's ready to throw at her. I don't get it, okay? But she had the F13 to go and be asking another person about his relationship. She had the wherewithal to go and ask Kenneth whether Brittany can take care of a black child, that can raise black children. You knew how to ask important questions then. But now when you reach your turn, you cannot ask important questions. You're just doing, just looking at him somehow. But anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. That is episode 7 to 9. I already did episodes 1 to 6. Go and watch it, okay, if you haven't watched it already. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye guys.